So first, thank you for being here with us. You traveled yesterday to join us, but I think it's a great opportunity to discover in Europe what is A2RL and what you are doing at Aspire. So my first question is for you, Khurram. Let's present to everyone what is A2RL, because we've seen a big screen at the entrance. Maybe everyone's seen this big screen. This big screen is for A2RL. So what is A2RL, Khurram?
Well, thank you, Lorenzo. I think A2RL is a fully autonomous sport where the AI drives and humans watch. So AI is the sport. So I love the fact that you have many athletes, because the first question is, well, are we trying to make athletes redundant? Well, that's not our main aim. What we're really trying to do is to build great technology. And the idea is to use the race ground and race tracks to build autonomous robotics, autonomous AI. And essentially, it's a competition where we have 8 teams last year, 12 teams this year, from around the world, the best minds, one of which is Max, who are coding cars. It's a coding challenge. We, as the race organizer, we build, manage, host, run the cars on behalf of the teams. And this is the second fastest car after F1. It's a Japanese super formula car. So it's a proper car.
So
and
it's 300 kilometers, right?
300 kilometers an hour. And of course, by definition, the algorithms that you create, the technology that you have, and the decision making is done at breakneck speed. So it really pushes the boundaries of sport and science.
So what are you trying to achieve with this program?
Well, we work for, actually, we are part of the government of Abu Dhabi. And essentially, it's probably the only government in the world that has a program that actually is really trying to push technology. So we take on some of the big challenges. The big challenges that we have are too many people still pass away on our roads. There's too many accidents. And we believe the difference between what a car can do versus what the average diver can do really depends on the ability of the driver. And reality is we're not very good drivers. The car can do a lot more. And so to bridge that gap, we believe AI can bridge that gap. So essentially, we're giving technology that could be your driver angel if you're in an accident situation, and we're doing science in the public domain. So essentially, if you are in an accident situation today, I think most people would say, I would trust myself in terms of roads. But if I said, I can give you Lewis Hamilton or Max Verstappen, most people would say they're a better driver than me. So AI can give you that. And essentially, we're working with teams, partners, and people like Max.
We talk about how many people that are joining A2RL.
So yes, last year we had 8 teams. This year we'll have 12 teams from the US, from Europe, from the Far East. We have a team from Japan, and I'm happy to announce we have a team from France joining as well.
That's an amazing news. So you are the one that will drive our cars in the future, right? No, you are not the one. Your algorithm will do it. So let's discover from your perspective, what is important for France to be part of this program? Why do you think we should be represented?
Well, we work as a professional, as a SMI cluster in the automotive, in development of autonomous vehicle and for the new mobility since 10 years. Of course, in France environment. So that's for us is an opportunity, important opportunity to have a very important labo to test our algorithm in a special condition of performance and use case very sophisticated, and to compete with different teams that come from everywhere in the world. So basically, with this competition, we come back to the real essential of what is the competition to get more results, more performance, to go back in the normal life, to put this development, this algorithm in the future vehicle, which every vehicle, not a sport car, but the buses and the trucks and all the new vehicles that will appear in the new mobility. So that's for us is a laboratory. We have in France a very important ecosystem that works since a long time, including the French OEMs in the new OEM mobility, and that's a very important opportunity. We cannot lose it.
And so I totally understand that it's a great opportunity, but you've done few races now. What are your learnings from all the races you've run?
Well, I think the first thing was, the first thing that would come to mind is that you'd think the consumer may not be interested, right? And as the race went on, the build-up went on, we had 30,000 applications for tickets. We had 10,000 people turning up. We had 1 million people online to watch. And this becomes actually an element where I think there's a consumer interest for many, many different reasons. I think AI is a hot topic right now, but I think autonomous robotics, gaming as an industry, people watching gaming, and my kids, for instance, I would rather than play the game, but they insist on watching other people play the game, right, on YouTube. We all as parents are going through that. And so it actually watching a robot was an interesting find. The second thing is, when we started this off, we really didn't want to compete with a human necessarily, right? But there's a real interest because, the computer beat the human in chess, then in Go, and the king of sports and the most difficult of sports, which is motorsport, where every split second counts. And we now, last year, we did a race with Danny Kvyat. Danny Kvyat, F1 veteran, 70-odd races he's run. And we've got within 10 seconds of the human in terms of what our cars can do. And that's an identical car. And 3 months out, we were, I would say, 50, 60 seconds off the human. So real solid 6 weeks of development where the teams have really put a lot of focus. They've got within 10 seconds. I think within the next year or so, that will come down further.
So I truly believe that, for example, esports, a lot of people are going to see esports. I truly believe that in the near future, and I hope maybe in France, thank you very much, maybe in France we'll have a race with autonomous car. But maybe before you explain me why France and why Europe, maybe we should look at a video, right? What do you think? Video? All right. Let's see. What is A2RL? Is it working? Yes. No?
Think racing is all about speed. Think bigger. This is a new evolution of autonomous racing. Season 2 of A2RL is here, and it's bigger, smarter, and faster. The sharpest minds in science and engineering, all coming together to make history in Abu Dhabi. This season, it's all about changing the game. Teams are equipped with cutting-edge AI, ready to outthink and outpace the competition. We're smashing limits, mastering new tracks, and setting new records. That's more cars, new talent, sharper AI, and even fiercer competition. A2RL, Abu Dhabi's autonomous racing league. The race to innovate starts now.
So first, congratulations, because it's a real car going to 300 kilometers in a real circuit, so congratulations for that. So my next question is I'm pretty curious to understand what is your next step, maybe in France. What do you plan to do, and what do you want to achieve between France and Abu Dhabi? Do you want to explore France? Will we have that kind of circuit and race in France? Or maybe in Europe. Let's start with Europe.
Let's start with Europe, yeah. Well, look, there is racetracks in France, and we're looking to do races in Europe. That's for sure. We're looking to take this all corners of the world. I'll touch upon it later, but one of the other things is these physical races will do multiple races a year. So we'll look at 3 races next year. This year we did a demonstration last week in Japan, in Suzuka. Next year we'll do a race in Europe. We'll do a race in probably in the Far East as well. Why not France, of course? But I think it's also about the ecosystem that we're building, right? So to really unlock the value of true AI is really about my ecosystem in Abu Dhabi working with Max's ecosystem here in France and vice versa. Companies being set up looking to invest or looking to actually get investment. And so Abu Dhabi is a great place, an attraction magnet for innovators, companies, and finance as well. And so A2RL becomes that natural bridge that allows, we use the race as a magnet for innovation. Not so different from, Motor Valley in Italy, where 100 years ago, there was a car race that kick-started the Motor Valley of Italy. Today, Motor Valley accounts for 4 to 5% of GDP of Italy, right? So we use the same concept and we build the AI and robotics Motor Valley in Abu Dhabi. But really, for that to be sustainable, we have to bring the best minds and combine them with different ecosystems.
So we are lucky because you are here, you are part of a team, so you build a team. So we want to go in the other side. We want to understand how went your preparation? How did you prepare to that kind of race? Because it's not a usual race. So can you give us more insights from your preparation?
Yeah, there are two main preparations. One is how to prepare the race itself. There is a roadmap, but there is a structuration, there is a program which started last month with the virtual simulation where we develop all the softwares, and we have a simulator provided by the organization, and we work to step by step to develop the algorithm in the different functions, the different steps, and then we make some check every month to upgrade and to go to the final step, then we'll be ready to go to the track. That's the philosophy, the strategy. From the other is how to set up the team. I would like to say, because it's important, I guess, from French point of view, that we are SMI French, but we are also the French university. That's very, very important. This is something new also in the way to work, because we start from the bottom, from the new generation, from the new, we have 5 French universities inside this team, very important, and even they are growing and they are setting up a new specialization for generative AI application for the mobility and not only. So again, this is very important opportunity, and we are putting this new team because it's a pedagogic and technological challenge for all this part that will be involved. They are come from the bottom to go to the up.
You were talking about challenges. What were your big or best, or let's say, I don't know if we can say best challenges, but your big challenges you faced to prepare this race?
Well, it's a challenge because it's very, very difficult. That's something where they put a very ambitious target in terms of technology, in terms of performance. So it's very difficult. And to make a student and new engineers, PhD, able to do this is something really important. They change the life for these people. So it's not only a question of a team, it's a question of persons, it's a new sport, it's an engineering sport, okay? So it's a different, is again another challenge. Then after that, there is important, this costs a lot of money, and there is a lot of things. It's a challenge, it's a very big setup from company point of view, for every aspect point of view. Then we hope to go later in a new dimension, which will be in motorsport by autonomous vehicle without driver, and we will be new federation, new organization, new thinking over the world.
So how many people in a team?
We have just started this September, so we are almost 30 engineers. Student from 40 to the PhD phase, and then other engineers already professional. So we are 40 people always today, just to make the first step. So when we're ready, we'll be almost 50 engineers, just the engineers. All the part from the physical car and the mechanics, all these things are made by the organization of A2RL. This is not part of the team. The team is the software, is the brain, is a part of engineering.
So everyone can build a team, or there is some rules, or?
No, we're pretty open. I mean, each team we have a team that has mainly 5 developers on the ground, right? So it's really about, they probably have a back office of many engineers. It's really about your strategy and the way you want to build it, right? I think the thing is to mention that the cars are truly identical, right? So we provide the car LiDAR, radar, sensors. So it's like your hands, your feet, your ears, your eyes of a driver is essentially the best way you code the brain of the car to utilize those elements and secure the best times, 1, and then 2, to race against each other. So there was no limitation per se on the number of drivers.
So concretely, Khurram, what is your strategy for A2RL? What are your next steps? What is your roadmap? Can you give us more information? Because we would be lucky to have a French team. Should we have more than one? How many teams do you expect? What is your next step for this competition?
Well, the limitation is the racetrack rather than us. So, I mean, we foresee 16, 17 teams. Now, at the moment, they're not all on the track at the same time. Last year, when we started, probably there was only 2 autonomous cars at that speed. We built it up to 4 last year. This year, we'll try to do more. But essentially, it's about inspiring. You know, if you're an athlete today, nutrition and all those different elements come into play. But being a race car driver, now you can inspire youth. You know, a small village in India, kids want to become a race car driver now can dream of doing that through education, right? And they're coding cars. If you don't look or, fit into a car, wasn't possible. Today you can join Max's team and do that, right?
But how do you evaluate them? Is there any process? So everyone can join it, or you have a process to select?
That's Max's job. That's it. That's his job to select the teams.
Okay.
We just put together a car, and of course, any mistakes cost a lot in our industry, right?
I can imagine. That's why I'm asking the question.
That's one of the challenges. I mean, we had a team. I can't mention which country they came from, but let's just say they were called Maverick. And they were very aggressive, ultra aggressive, and did a lot of crash damage. But that was learning for them, right? And so it's really about getting that balance right in your team. And actually, I think Max can probably give more details, but essentially you see the culture within different teams through their code, which was something that was completely alien to us. But actually in the code itself, we have a team, we were looking at a team from Southeast Asia where they were a solid team but would never win because their idea was to crash would be more damaging culturally. So we see that cultural element within the code.
Yes, I can. We have different technical philosophy. I mentioned before the French environment. That's something where software architecture can be very different. You have a hardware architecture than a standard, but after that, the software it can be more or less sophisticated, depending of the knowledge, depending of the technology, depending of the targets. So in this way, we have a very good base in France. That's first thing to say. From technological point of view, we are not absolutely the last one. So that is a very good starting point. And then giving another answer, now we start from this because that's the only opportunity then we have to do this. After that, in the future years, if we can develop other application in different cars, in different championship, in different countries, even national in France, this will be the future. But now we are talking about this. We start from this. That's the only one, and we have to do. And it works.
So what I understand is that the French team is the best one. That's why I heard. Huh? That's it. No, that's not the case.
I can tell you that there are other teams that are very, very strong.
I understand.
We hope that it will be at a good level first run, but we have to be also realistic. People is very, very good. Our Germans and the Italians are very good. I'm Italian, but I'm here from 23 years in the field of automotive, and I know all this kind of things.
We love competition, so you've launched the new competition. So as AI is the new sport, and as we love competition, I truly hope that in the near few weeks, few months, few years, we will be part of a big competition in France. I hope so. Thank you very much for this talk. Thank you very much for being here together. I keep you, Khurram. Thank you very much, Max, for being with us. We can applause Max. Thank you very much. And Khurram, you stay with me.